Don't turn them away. It's the title of today's Daily Dose. Look, how we treat others matters greatly to God. In fact, Jesus made this very profound and convicting statement. He says, I tell you the truth. You know, when Jesus tells you, I tell you the truth, it means this is important, take it in. He says, I tell you the truth, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers of mine, you did for me. Matthew 25:40. That brings everything pretty close to us, whatever you did. And it brings us very close to Jesus. You did to me. Look, people are no longer simply strangers. Check this out. It's kind of interesting and cool that the Bible paints a picture that there's only 1 degree of separation between us and every other human being on the planet. How's it possible? Well, that 1 degree of separation is the person Jesus, who not only stands between God and man as the only true mediator between God and man, but also he stands as the only common denominator that draws us together in healthy community in spite of our vast differences. See, Jesus underscores this truth when he tells us that how we treat one another, how I treat you, how you treat me, how we treat even a stranger, especially how we treat the needy and the broken, that's how we're treating God. That's how we're treating Jesus. In fact, the very acts of mercy toward others, which we're called to perform every day of our lives, they're actually even the evidence of the reality of our salvation, that Christ is even in us, that we have a new heart, a new nature. So if all of this is true, then it really matters how we treat others. But what keeps us from serving those in need? I want to check out 5 common objections of why we just struggle with serving others. Number 1, objection number 1, I don't feel called. Well, isn't that convenient? Isn't that convenient? See, this objection, I don't feel called, it's based on a wrong belief that we have to be called to serve others. Look, we don't need to be called to serve others. We've already been given the command to serve others. Remember, Jesus says, go into all the world. Go into all the world. In fact, I would argue that you'd actually need a very clear permission slip from Jesus to stay home and not serve others. Has he given you a permission slip to not serve others? I didn't think so. Me neither, right? Objection number 2, another objection of why we're not helping others. I don't know how to. Okay. But didn't God tell us that he would guide us and direct us, that he gives us all we need for life and godliness, that he would teach us these things? Didn't he promise to be with us when we step out in obedience and as we show his love to others, that he'd be right there with us, helping us? Look, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing enough to actually go. All right, you ready? Objection number 3. Objection number 3. I don't have time. I don't have time to help other people. I don't have time to help others. True, it's definitely not convenient to serve. And we're all kind of stressed for time. I get it. But let's face it, we can always find time for what we value. If we value helping others, then I'm going to tell you, we're going to find time to help others. And I believe that God will bless us with even more time as we help others. He will redeem the hours that we use to selflessly serve others. Anyway, reason number 4. Fourth reason why people can object to helping out others. Well, here it is. I don't know if I can really make a difference. Well, let me be clear. All of us can make a difference. That includes you and me. We can all make a difference because we've all been called by Christ to make a difference. And he equips those he calls. We have his grace to make a difference. We can do all things through Christ, including make a difference in other people's lives. All things. We can go, we can pray for others. We can provide financially. We can serve. We can just be there and help and encourage others. One final objection though. Here it is. The 5th and final objection. I don't want to. I don't want to. There, I said it, didn't I? That's what most of us are thinking. Come on, be real. I just don't want to help others. Well, you know what that is? That's selfishness. That's our selfish flesh talking, and it really isn't consistent with the heart of Christ that we're supposed to have now. Beloved, we have to say no to our flesh and say yes to the Spirit, say yes to the will of our Savior Jesus. It's time for us to go and be His hands and feet. So here it is. At some point this week, that's my encouragement. Some point this week, you will find yourself just 1 degree away from Jesus as you look into the eyes of the broken, the hurting, and the needy in our community. Don't turn them away. Treat them as if they were Jesus.